At the last video. So just a real quick recap of 1970. I did 4. You only had to do 3 comparisons. I did all the defensive linemen. That's the people trying to get to the ball that are the closest to the ball. I did all the running backs. In 1970, it was fullbacks and halfbacks. Those are together. I did all the offensive linemen, which is offensive guards and offensive tackles, and then all the quarterbacks. So you just needed to pick 3 and then find the average of each. I did the same thing for 2024. They called them all defensive linemen, except for one they called a D-end. I don't know why he's special, and they specified him. The running backs and fullbacks together. Very few fullbacks. It's not common to use them. And offensive linemen are all OL for 2024. And all the QBs are QB. So, new step. I'm going to hit the plus, and this time I'm going to type in comparative. You pile of garbage. Try again. Down here. Hello. Comparative. Comparative. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put in one column that says 1970. I'm going to go over 5 columns. I'm going to put 2024. Click on these 3 columns, A, B, and C. And I'm going to go to Format Cells. And I'm wanting to go to Alignment. Just kidding. We're going to try to merge them if it will let me. But the options are different here than... Let's see. You know what? Maybe we just won't worry about merging for now. I'm not going to waste your time. This is okay. I'm going to do this instead. I'm going to put this in column B, and I'm going to center that. I'm going to put 2024 in F, and I'm going to center that. We won't be able to tell the difference. I'm going to change the color of 1970 to one color and 2024 to a different color. All right, 1970, I'm going to grab all the data in columns A, B, and C. I clicked on the letter using the down arrow, went across at Command C to copy. And I'm going to put that in comparative, so they'll be right next to each other. I'm going to click in A2 and Command V to paste. I'm going to split this out a bit, and then 2024, exact same thing up to the top. Column A through C, highlighting on the letters, Command C to copy, going into comparative, and Command V to paste, and again adjusting the name for some of those longer names. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. Some of the spacing, it's kind of tall, so I can go Command A, let's select all, 2-finger click, and go to row height, and I'm going to go to auto fit, and that way it all scrunches together nicely. So what I'm seeing here is there are a lot more defensive linemen than there were back here, and I want these to be right next to each other. So I'm going to highlight all of these and drag them down, and I'm going to go Command X to cut all that information, and I'm going to line it up so they're right next to each other. Command V to paste. Command V to paste. Well, hello. Thank you for not doing what I want you to do. There we go. Command V to paste. So now my fullbacks and running backs are also lined up. My average is not quite on the same lines. Here it looks like I need to scoot the other side down this time. So I'm going to highlight over here. This time I started with the numbers instead of the names because the names all have links, and I don't want to accidentally click a link. Command X. And I'm just going to line up the top again with the top of the other. And there are way more offensive linemen than offensive linemen 1970. Same thing with the quarterbacks. Command X. Just going to line up my quarterbacks. So now I can do quick looking across. So I can see that the average defensive lineman is 220 pounds 50 some years ago, and now it's 274 pounds. My difference is 54 pounds, and if I wanted to, we could be fancy here, and I'm going to put in diff equals, and I'm going to do the absolute value. Absolute value is, it doesn't matter if it's plus or minus, and I'm going to go parentheses, this minus this, close parenthesis, enter, and I hope that's the right formula. It says it's 53 pounds different. The reason I do absolute value, that's the distance from 0, so it doesn't matter if this is bigger or this is bigger. Absolute value, it's 53 pounds difference. I'm going to check that out for this one also. And we're going to type in diff equals ABS, parentheses, and this is in my way, and I'll show you why absolute value doesn't matter. I'm going to start with this one this time, minus, not that one, minus G41, close parenthesis. My difference, 8 pounds for running backs, not as substantial, but again, they had fullbacks, were more prevalent back then. I'm going to find my diff for equals ABS for absolute value, distance from 0, this minus this, close parenthesis, enter, 79 pounds. That is the size of a child. 79-pound difference. 308 to 228 for offensive linemen. That is insane. Average weight 308 to 228. All right, last one, diff equals ABS for my absolute value, parenthesis. It looks like I can just sneak over and click this, minus this, close parenthesis. Quarterbacks are about 11 pounds heavier, so across the board, quite a bit heavier. Last thing to analyze, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click column C, and I'm going to go to conditional formatting. Now, here's the trick. I don't know where to find conditional formatting in here. This might, oh, there it is, conditional formatting. Look at that. If I couldn't find it, I could have just typed it in here in the search, conditional, and it'll say, hey, I'm right here. But since I actually found it out of all luck, I'm going to click it, and I'm going to go new rule. And I want, let's see, everybody who is less than 200 pounds to show up in green. And then I'm going to hit done. And I'm going to do the same thing for column G. Add a rule, and everybody who is less than 200 pounds show up in green. Done. Now, columns that also have no content, like this, the big old gap, that'll also show up, and that's okay for now. Gonna highlight column C, and this time I'm gonna be tricky, and I'm gonna see if it'll let me do both. C, and I'm gonna hold down the command key, because that allows you to select multiple. Now, if I did C and I held down shift, it would do everything in between. We don't want that, so I'm gonna do C and then the command key right next to the space bar. And G, I'm going to add a rule so it applies to both now. And this time I'm going to say if it is between. Let's see, we did 200 pounds before, so let's go 201 and 250. We're going to have that show up in the yellow and click done. Everybody that is between 201 and 250, there's quite a bit of yellow on the left side. And I'm going to keep C and G highlighted. I'm going to add a rule, which is the plus button again. And this time we're going to say greater than 250 pounds. That should get everybody. And they're going to show up in red. I click the red button, greater than 250. I'm going to click done. And here's our big chungus, holy moly. All these dudes are 300 pounds at a glance. Oh, the 200s didn't show up for some reason. One of our rules must be just a little bit off, but that's okay. Let's take a quick look. Why is that? C and G, 201. This is greater than 250. This is less than 250. Oop, let's edit this real quick. I'm going to click the edit button, and we're going to say between 200 and 250. Done. That way everybody is lit up. So your friend who says that people aren't getting bigger, that friend is very wrong, because clearly we can compare our averages. 53 pound difference, lots of red, lots of yellow here, fairly even here. That doesn't surprise me too much since there's only 8 pound difference. Every offensive lineman on the Nebraska football team is highlighted in red. They're all above 250 pounds. None were above 250 pounds 50 years ago. So that is the assignment. So here's what I also don't know with this. We're going to go to File, And I don't know if this saves automatically. This is brand new territory for me. We're going to go to Save As, and we can save a copy of this workbook online. I think that's a great idea. Here's what I want you to do. We're going to save this as your name. Whoop. Except for you actually write your name, not your name. And we're going to type in comparative Husker. And then create a copy. And that actually created a copy. So now I have book 1 and I have the one that's your name. I suppose there's a better way to save it, but for now, I don't know what that is. I suppose I could just double click where it says book. Nope. I'm not going to waste your time anymore. So what we're going to do is we're going to click share, and we're going to copy link. And that copy link then is what you're going to copy and paste into your assignment. Attach it as a link, and congratulations, you made it through. Good job.